Hello and welcome to this video tutorial. In this video we'll be answering the question, can you help me paint authentic Celtic patterns? So this is the final piece here, and we're gonna get to it here with so when I start a Celtic design, I usually like to keep some of the key principles of what makes Celtic patterns what they are, and most of those are kind of like repeating geometric kind of knotwork, spirals, and sometimes animal, floral, or like human motifs. So to do that, I usually like to set out a few guides for myself. So in this piece, I'm going to be creating a pattern that goes on like a warrior's shield or something. So it'll be radial in nature. And here I'm using a technique you'll see with Adobe's Smart Objects. So I'll usually create either a quarter or a half of the image, and I'll create a smart object and then duplicate that around. And so here I'm doing it in quadrants, and then I'm painting on the image here on the right and saving, and then I can see how it is replicated on the left. And so here I've decided to do like a kind of just like a basic knotwork going around in the circle, and then wanted to implement like a wolf's head kind of motif. And you'll notice here in the wolf's head, like it's not realistic. It's almost like a stylized pattern. And in a lot of Celtic designs, when they incorporate animals, you'll notice this, and they'll often even take the body and it turns into a bit of the knotwork itself, which is what I'm trying to do here. So I'm sketching out a few ideas. You'll see I often kind of like erase and redraw various ideas, and it's just I'm just trying to explore a few ideas, and I think I'm finally getting something I like here. And you see kind of like the finished design here on the left. So it kind of has that nice kind of Celtic knotwork appeal, and you see the overlapping and underlapping, almost like a woven basket in a way of the lines. So so I'm just kind of started sketching out a rough idea for almost like a warrior holding a shield. So I've taken that smart object of my pattern and kind of overlaid it on the shield there. And so now I'm just kind of getting into the actual illustration. So I'm just kind of sketching out some basic forms. Just kind of wanted a rather simple piece of the warrior kind of looking out, maybe resting from battle or something. But yeah, when you're working with when you want to design your own original Celtic pattern, just kind of keep those key motifs in mind, with the woven kind of lines. Feel free to experiment, and even just Google a couple images, kind of see how those patterns work. I've actually kind of picked a little more difficult one here with a curve, but even if you want to do designs for like a sword, a straight approach, just do a lot of geometric guidelines. So maybe do a little segment of one, draw that, and then repeat that a few times. That's a really helpful way to do it. And then when you're finished, you can kind of tighten up where you need to kind of clean up the edges and so forth for the piece. So now just looking back at the illustration here, just kind of finishing up the character. Just kind of paint away. I wanted to kind of have like a cool tough chick there. But just kind of painting away, and make sure to experiment with if you're using Photoshop, to use the smart objects to help speed up that process there. Or if you're using another program, even just draw half of it and duplicate it and flip it and so forth. That will definitely help aid in the geometric and the symmetry that you need for these kind of patterns. So there we are, the finished piece of our Celtic wolf knotwork pattern for the shield.